there, internet. How you guys doing?
Hey Kim, hey internet, what's going on?
Nothing is going on.
Nothing is going on.
The sky is falling. Why is the sky falling?
The sky is falling.
Isn't it?
No,
Isn't it?
no. This is a dream you had.
No. I've told you though, right? That I've had
Uh,
dreams, not dreams, but
mm,
like daydreams is what they're called. When I look at the sky
yes.
and it's like really blue, like there's no clouds in the sky at all. And it reminds me of it's a nice clear turquoisey blue color.
Okay.
And it feels like when I stare at it too hard, like if the ocean is going to come in and swallow me. So that's what I mean by the sky is falling. It's the ocean, but it's the sky.
I don't know why you told me this, but good for you.
Anyhow, speaking of things that are reminiscent of being high, we watched The Boys
We
recently.
watched Boys. Season 3 came out and ended recently. I like this season more than season 2
Mm-hmm.
overall. I think it was snappier, I guess is the word.
Snappy?
I don't know. It felt just a little bit more like things were quicker and faster. And for me, for season 2, there was it felt like there was a lull, like in the middle, and then it peaked at the end type of
Mm-hmm.
situation. But here, throughout, I kind of, it wasn't like too boring or up to. But I mean, it's the boys. Boys doesn't get boring. It was just, I think this was a good season. It was probably the best season they've had so far, in my opinion.
I agree with what you're saying, and I feel like maybe some of the things that happened in season two could have just happened in season one.
But yeah, they weren't sure if they're getting season 2. I think so. Who knows?
Right, right. But season one was
Mm.
good, and
Mm-hmm.
season two was
Good
it's
as well.
okay. Yeah. I feel though with this third season that these are my feelings coming away. It's like how long do they have to fight against Homelander? That's one of the major things. But there were a lot of themes like of family. You know, Homelander always was
um,
about the whole family thing, but in
mm,
this season, a lot more. They had a lot more themes with like family and like I don't know, father issues,
uh,
daddy
the
issues for
whole
the characters.
the family being the group of people who you choose to hang out with and who you keep with, like how Butcher and the boys are, even though
Right.
that relationship is kind of toxic.
Yeah.
The whole like Butcher and his past when he gets his mind
Exactly.
messed up.
Exactly.
The whole thing with Homelander and his son,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kimiko and Frenchie, their whole thing
Yeah.
with family, even
MM
with
and his
MM and his daughter.
daughter.
Yes, so the
Everything was about family this
family and
season.
how you what you do can affect your family in certain ways,
Right.
and how things that affect how you as a person choose to be to your family type of
Yeah.
thing. Think about
Anyhow,
that
we
super hard.
saw that Homelander, Butcher, and
Mhm.
Soldier Boy
Yes.
have father issues. Okay. Everybody got daddy issues.
In their own unique ways, yes.
And they're all quite similar actually.
Mm.
Because I don't, well, maybe not as much in what I'm about to say,
Hmm.
Homelander, but Soldier Boy and Butcher realized that they were becoming like their father or that they
Mm.
became like their
Pretty
fathers.
much.
Like Butcher, you remember when he was talking to Huey, he's like, you're so much like my brother
Yeah,
or
he
whatever, like
remembered.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, things like that. And when you were saying he had that mind moment,
But well, I wouldn't want to do any spoilers for sure. People can go and
I
watch it,
just
but
said the mind
yeah,
moment,
the
Christopher.
mind
You're
moment,
the one who nearly spoils. I didn't say anything.
the
He
mind
had the
moment.
mind moment,
Yeah.
and he was seeing himself doing the same things that his dad did.
Hmm.
So,
Became his father.
exactly. And then later on for Soldier Boy, you remember when he tells Butcher his story?
Yeah, yeah,
He says the same exact thing that his father said to him. He says that to Homelander
yeah.
when
When
they
you
meet
when you
up
meet up,
at the
yeah,
end. Ah, yeah.
it's all about how what you do as a parent like, because I remember we had this conversation outside of watching The Boys about how being a parent or just being a parental figure, you're the greatest influence on
Yeah.
another human being
Yeah.
coming up. And no matter what you do, if you're around that person and around that child, you will influence them
Yeah.
in some sort, shape, and form. But I really like how they did it with Butcher. They showed how he was like even through the last 3 seasons, like the
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things he's
yeah, yeah,
done, different
yeah.
things he said, and they
Because,
showed how his father was.
yeah,
The
yeah,
rest
they introduced his father as well. He was
exactly.
still a bastard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this was a interesting season. They went super hard on um I did like all the hero gasm stuff. You remember that episode?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Apparently, Jensen Ackles said that that was like the most traumatizing thing episode for the crew,
Really?
for the crew, and even
Oh.
the director was like, I don't even know it was filming anymore at a certain point
Right? What are you even
because
doing?
there was just so much. Like, you know what you asked me when we were watching it, and we were like, why is
The
it so dark?
lighting. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, it's pretty much an orgy.
Yeah.
And even though, yeah, the show is like rated M18+, they still don't want to have like the focus be the sex.
All
It's more like
right.
the sex in the background type of situation because you can still see it happening
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
every
You know
single
what
angle.
was so, it was so odd though. The lighting really caught me off guard because outside the house it was like
Right.
afternoon. It was
But
bright
they were
afternoon. The
like, yeah,
sun was at the highest point in the sky that it can get. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then when we go inside, it's like, whoa,
Nobody wants to have an orgy with like and it's super bright. That's super weird.
is that so?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know,
I'm just saying.
but
I'm just saying that seems super weird.
I did not like when that guy answered the door.
With his like dick.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
Mm-mm.
lot of dick this
He can't
season.
retract that.
I don't know. I guess it's super long. That's his power. Long dick. I guess he uses it to like a prehensile tail where he could like grab things. That's why he's a super. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what you expected from me. This season focused on killing Homelander, right?
Right. I mean, so did the other.
I know, right? Season 2 focused on trying to kill him too,
That's
but
what
it,
I'm
it was
saying.
all bit at the end. It ended up like defeating Stormfront,
Right.
and they've
This season was about them finding a
a weapon
weapon that
to try to
could
kill,
kill
and that's where Soldier
Homelander.
Boy comes in
Right,
or
right.
whatnot.
Turns out that Soldier Boy can get rid
Depower
of.
people
Yeah.
because it's like super radiation apparently,
Yeah.
and that's what they were going to use to kill. I blame. You want to know who I blame for why Soldier Boy is still? I mean, didn't kill Homelander or why Homelander is still around. I blame Homelander's son. It's all Ryan's fault. I was
It is. It
thinking,
is.
but at the same time, Ryan's the reason why Homelander didn't kill all of them at the end.
Yeah, yeah,
Still, it's
yeah.
kind of strange. It's like,
I wanted to believe. You remember I told you I want to believe that the reason why Ryan says that I want to leave
it's to
to
save
Homelander
everybody
is to
there.
save everyone who was there. But then at the end, after Homelander just evaporates that person in broad daylight
But
with
they like,
the whole, protest group was there, he smiles a little.
I
Ryan
think
smiles a little.
I think Ryan is smarter than his father. And I think what he's realized is that control. He realizes that, I think he's going to realize or realizes already that his very presence can control his
His
dad.
father. That's
Yes.
right. That's why he has the
It's
potential to be stronger.
he has the potential to be far more dangerous than anybody
Exactly.
else because Homelander is not going to hurt his son.
Exactly.
And if his son is who's controlling the reins behind Homelander, it would be
Oh,
kind of fucky.
speaking of control, do you remember that scene where we saw him talking to himself in the mirror? That was
I
a
like that scene.
great
I
scene.
like. You know what? Just the actor. I just talk about the actor who plays Homelander. He's amazing.
Yeah, everyone agrees that he deserves some kind of award
He
by
is
now.
just. He's perfect.
Yeah.
I haven't read the comics or anything like that, but when I think of Homelander, I see and I just see how his ticks, the how he work, how he
Yeah, yeah,
moves
yeah.
and everything, and just like they really he's
Yeah,
on
he
point.
embodies Homelander to me. You know,
Yeah.
when an actor does such a good job, you believe that this is them.
To be
Like,
put,
you would be afraid to meet this guy on the street.
it's kind of what happened to the lady who played Cersei Lannister.
Oh,
She
really?
she was so good that people, she's like people. She was talking like on like interviews and stuff. Like people
Mm-hmm.
like on the street, they're like hate you. Her was like I hate
Yeah,
you, Cersei type of thing. But this just he does such an amazing job,
he does. He
and that
does.
like I remember telling you when we were watching, like every scene with Homelander makes me nervous. Like no matter what,
Let me tell you the
it's just
part that makes me
it's
nervous.
super
It's
nervous.
when someone says something that I know can tick him off, or when you see that he is physically irritated. He has
Mm-hmm.
like this little he grits his
Yeah,
teeth
just his
down
eyes.
a little bit,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has like a tick on his face, just a slight
Like
tick,
this
and I'm just like, oh
annoyance.
my god. So you don't know what's about to happen. Anything could happen. Just very
and
unpredictable.
and all of him boiling up from season 1 to season 3 comes to a head at the very end, and people still will support him.
Exactly. That shows you, things can get still really bad, and
Yeah,
people will still.
no matter like I like the whole how is like the whole it's like reflecting modern day type of
Yes, it
situation.
reflects
Like
Donald Trump. That's who
yeah, pretty
Homelander
much.
was being,
he was he was pretty much going, they were going ham with that analogy to like pretty much, even though you live in a modern day society and whatnot, people like to think that things are getting better and we're moving forward and we're progressing as a human society and
Hmm.
whatnot. Shit can still happen terrible, and your politicians or whoever you believe in can still lead you down the a
Exactly,
shitty
exactly.
path. And if you and in boys it's even worse because you have a superpowered monster that if you go against them you'll probably get your eye head laser off.
Oh, you know what I saw? I saw they said that mob of protesters
Mm-hmm.
at the end was supposed to represent the, what do you call it? The people who stormed the thing on, and there was a
Okay,
guy
okay.
apparently who you remember the guy who stormed with the hat that had the horns with the fur.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
was a guy in the
No.
boys, an actor, an extra who was
Was there
wearing
the
it as well.
okay?
So with the face paint
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everything,
yeah.
they did that on purpose.
Because yeah, I mean, reality is stranger than fiction, funny enough.
I
But yeah,
know. You don't
oh,
have to stretch very
don't
hard.
have
We
to
all
know.
know
You know,
what that is supposed to
no, you
be.
don't. No, you don't. I literally like that type of stuff in this show. It's
You
not
know
afraid to
what
do
I
that
was
type of
thinking
things.
after that as well?
Hmm.
I thought that when Homelander sent, oh, you guys already know that they're going to be spoilers, so I'm just going to start talking. Okay. When Homelander sent, what's his name? The Deep to
Yes,
go and
the
kill
the
the
vice
VP
VP
or the
dude or
running
running
mate or
up. Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
I thought that he was going to be the one who was the thing.
No,
But I feel like later on, though, he's gonna be like trying to be the president of America or something.
I mean the man already pretty much got rid of the head of vault. But like I told you when we were watching the show, he wants. He said he still wants people to love him,
Yeah,
and that's what he wanted to be the head of vault. I mean, but what he can't do anything at the head of vault. He doesn't know anything.
he doesn't.
But him as president, who knows? The fact that he killed somebody in public
And they
and they
cheered.
cheered, and I like how they're using
Todd.
Todd
Oh my
Todd
gosh.
Todd as he's the first person to just like yeah. I was like that. Yeah, that's how some people actually believe and think that the way you need to you destroy and kill the people who
It's true,
criticize
it's
you.
true. Every time that he and they had like two major arguments
Mm-hmm.
about Janine watching the stuff or going to the rally or
Mm-hmm.
what have you, where Homelander was. And I was just thinking, this is the guy that watched CNN all day and believes it. This is the guy
MSNBC
who
and
watches Fox
Fox.
and just believes everything. It could be MSNBC as well.
Exactly.
This is the guy who whatever he hears that is in line with what he already believes,
Is going to
that
100
is
wholesale believe
so
it.
reminiscent of the people.
Who just buy into everything that they see on
Exactly.
the
They
news.
don't try to get other storylines, and even if they hear something that is differing opinion to what they believe, they're like, "No, that's not true." They won't believe it. I'm
Yes.
like, "You guys, come on. We have to be better, smarter than this."
I mean, we have to be better because I like how MM put it. He's like, why? Cause when this because pretty much the group kind of splits because Butcher and Huey is going super hard and the whole kill Homelander
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. Taking
Um,
the we didn't even mention they were taking
the
Temp V,
10V, which apparently is
killing
killing
them.
them.
Do you
Uh,
think that they're going to end up taking like the permanent stuff?
I think somebody that doesn't already have superpowers on team with them is going to take permanent V. So I think somebody is going to. I don't know who it is. I got a feeling that maybe Huey might end up taking permanent V. So who knows? Somehow. But the whole thing that MM says to I think Starlight
Hmm.
is like, why do I have to be the one who takes the high road?
Hmm.
You know, why do I have to always constantly be the person who, when everybody is doing the shit thing, I have to take the high road. I have to be the better person.
Yeah.
I have to try to push above the filth that is life and be the better man type of thing. And I think that that in that sentence kind of like represents like a lot of things in life. A lot of people are always like, why do we have to be like? Why do I have to be the better person than this other
Yeah.
person? Why do I need to be do the good right thing when everybody else is doing the either the easier or the shittier thing? Why do I need to type of thing? So, but somebody has to have to do the right thing, or not. We all end up in a
Or
shithole.
else, exactly. Or else everything will just turn into anarchy.
And anarchy doesn't work, no matter what people think. But yeah, this season was fun.
It
It
was. It
really
was.
I think the reason why they could have done a lot of the crazy things that they did this season is because of a lot of the stuff that happened prior to seasons. Like they already build up and stuff like that. Things with Newman, I call that at the end of season two. We can because we saw her kill all those people at the end of season two and stuff like that. But it's like she's either going to be a good guy or she's going to become a bad guy,
I
and
wonder what's
she's.
going to happen to Edgar because I don't
He,
think that
I'm
he
still
has
surprised he's
plans.
alive.
He has plans for everything.
Yes,
Even if he die, if someone killed him,
he
he would
has a
have a
plan. You
plan.
think he would have like a backup clone of
I
himself or
I don't know
something?
what he has, but he's that, his character feels that way.
Yes, his character honestly feels like not the last boss, but he's more like the person who's controlling both the
Right,
good
right.
guys and
He's
the
like
last
thought
boss.
ahead several steps. Like he's
Yes.
thought about so many different outcomes.
Hmm.
No matter what happens, he'll have like an
I
idea
don't think
of
he was expecting the betrayal by Victoria though, cause that
I
honestly
don't
seemed
know.
kind
I
of
don't
oof,
know. Maybe not that soon,
probably
but he it's possible that he thought it could
could
have
happen,
happened
cause he did say that he may trained her and taught her everything
to play both
to
sides or
play
every
both
side or
sides.
whatever. He said that, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. He's not done yet. He's probably. I think even though Homelander owns, I think the risk now is that Homelander isn't afraid to kill anybody that's against him. Though I think that's the issue because Edgar was saying throughout like that he still fears him and he's still afraid of him. But Homelander actually this season, even though he's going mad, was kind of smart and like
Going
manipulative.
mad. He was going mad for a long
I
time.
know, right? But I mean, he got the stuff from Victoria. He got Victoria on his side. He got certain things. Put people in certain positions and have like fucking deep fired all their security
He was
professionals.
really like Donald Trump.
Yes, they were trying to push. They're pushing that whole point. The thing,
Okay,
whole
him
idea of
coming
like the
into
dictator coming
power
into power and then
and then
changing up
changing
everything
people like
that didn't
that
like
whole the
him.
deep at and then firing people. He's like he put somebody in a position that they didn't know about and
Uh
then they
huh.
fired a bunch of people, Donald Trump.
Pretty
And
much that didn't know,
then
and then put people in charge that didn't know anything about what they were doing.
exactly. And then when he just blasts that person, it's like when Donald Trump said that he can just kill anybody in the street.
And he could get away with it.
Right, right.
And if I think they were trying to prove that's the point at the end there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
It obviously was because the people didn't they didn't hate it.
Fucking Todd is like, yeah, and
It
everybody
only
started cheering.
takes, you know what, when that happened, this is what I thought. It only takes one bad apple to spoil a bunch. What if
Yeah.
someone cried out and screamed at that moment in despair and people started running
Then
away?
he probably
He
would have
would kill them.
lasered
But
everyone there.
that's my point though, right? The fact that Todd cheered it on, the rest of the group, you know, sometimes when you're in a group, I learned this. I learned this. When you're in a group, it has something to do with psychology. You take on the
The
mentality
group
of the
psychology.
greater group
Well, that's what there's that.
because you feel that you can do anything in greater numbers. You feel like
Being
everything
in
is
a group is
open,
also
and if
safer.
people, exactly, if there are other people who are okay with certain things, that you
You
go
can go
along
on.
with it
Yeah,
as
that's pretty
well.
much
That's what happened.
like have a T-shirt there. I've had it for years. Um, a person is smart. A group of people is stupid because
Yeah.
the you when you're in a group, you're
Tell
groups.
that to all my teachers who put me to do group projects. I've been trying to tell them.
Like yeah, people are panicky, crazy things, and like everybody there was shocked. Everybody
They
would have been
were
shocked.
shocked.
And then the superpowered lasered flying god human lasered a guy's head in half. Now you have two choices. Even if you love Homelander, right? What he did was straight up murder a guy. You have
Yeah.
a choice. And the choice was if he just killed that guy for throwing and being a third thing and hitting his son and being mad at him, you have a choice. You're gonna be like, oh no, and then you get lasered and die, or you're going to be like, yeah, woo, that was great. Yeah, that guy was not. You did hear people in the edit like, yeah,
Here's
that guy
here's
was a
another
jerk.
thing. Here's
Yeah,
another thing. Here's
fair.
another thing.
That is fair. That
I
is
do
not
think
worship.
I exactly. I do think there's another layer to that, and they were also trying to say that he was like Hitler as well. But
Because he's always talking about your own kind type of thing, because of Stormfront and all that shit
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
There is another layer to that moment. It was that he was protecting his son.
Yes. So he can then
However,
use that. But your son is a
however, that was
superpowered demigod.
so. You know what they say? The punishment was not equal to the crime or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like, whoa, dude,
It's kind of like
it's overboard.
it's kind of also with we haven't even touched it, the A Train side story stuff, where the guy A Train was like to the guy who was over policing black neighborhoods
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
about how
Blue Hawk or
what are
something.
you afraid of? How are you going? Like, what are you afraid of? How can you feel threatened when you are a superpowered person and you literally against in a room with people who don't have superpowers?
Exactly.
How are you feeling threatened?
It was that one was of police violence, as we
Exactly.
know in
Yeah.
America. That's what that was showing. It's like policemen have guns and they have authority, and all of this stuff. It's like you guys just kind of freak out when you get around black people, and it's a mental. No,
Yeah,
no,
it is.
it is proven. It is a mental thing now
Because you're
because they
hardwired.
are exactly conditioned to feel more threatened, like you say, when black people are around.
Yep. Yep.
It's fucking racism. I'm not sorry. It is racism.
I
They
kind of
need deconditioning or something. For God's sake.
deconditioning. I kind of like what Ashley says to A Train though,
What?
because she was like, "How can you all of a sudden feel like it matters to you when you yourself?"
Exactly.
Don't forget the way how this entire thing started
It's
was
when he
him
killed
running and
Huey, his girlfriend.
killing Hugh's girlfriend. He
Yeah.
ran through her.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of like that with him. It's like, yeah, it sucks, doesn't it, when something bad happens to you when you have been doing the same thing. Literally, she says you like have like killed like 3 or 4 people or some
Yeah.
shit like that. So I kind of also liked her development too, as she's coming in, as she's like become the leader, pretty much the
I feel
CEO.
like she's gonna still be around.
She's
She's
not
not
going
gonna get
away,
killed.
but
Ashley is useful to Homelander,
I do
honestly.
enjoy the actress who plays
Me too,
Ashley.
me
You
too.
know, every time she's on scene, there's something funny that's going to
Yeah,
happen because even she realizes, even herself, that she's in this shit
yeah,
and she has a role to play and she needs to play all the chess pieces or not, she's going to
yeah,
fucking die.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The king is over
She
there and he
knows
has
it.
laser eyes.
Exactly.
There's nothing I can do about this. I like how she was like at the end with Maeve,
God deleted the
deleted the
footage.
footage so that
Yeah,
it could be like Maeve died and just delete it. Nobody knows this, right? So I
yeah.
was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That was a good thing that she did there at the end. Um,
Going back to A Train, like you said,
yes.
he he did have that moment where he felt human because he did not have, power.
Yeah, his heart is given out.
However, he still killed the guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He killed the
One
guy.
thing, and he really pays for it when they transplant, the
That's kind
racist
of
heart into
a
him.
yeah. That's kind of a fuck you, isn't it?
It is.
It's like, you got your revenge. Good for you. Wonderful. Guess what? We put his heart inside of you.
And there was even more another family moment with him and his brother, where
And
his
Buzz
brother's like,
like
I don't want a murderer in my house because he didn't want him to kill him.
he wanted
What people want
is
is
justice.
justice. And justice comes, the best form of justice I find is when you can see other people suffer. No, for real. If someone has done something to harm you, there are lots of people who will want to take revenge, and that's wonderful. However,
You want the person brought to justice, brought to
exactly,
have
I
charges brought
think
against them and thrown in prison.
exactly, eternal suffering is what we want. That's the justice we want. We want to know that you're not living easy.
Mm.
Things are not good for you. You're getting messed up all the time. Life is hard. You probably dying. And you know what? That's great because you messed with my family, you messed with the people in my community.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't get away with things like that. You need to suffer.
Yes.
Suffering is justice.
Suffering is justice. You heard it
For
here,
many
folks.
people, it is. People don't, there are a lot of people who don't just want a killer to like get away or to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
It's
that's
kind of
not
why.
enough.
That's
That's
kind
not
of why
enough.
when people go and shoot up a whole bunch of things, that's why they kill themselves at the end because they know that what's going to happen is that they're going to go into prison and they're going to spend their whole lives in prison and that's going to be hell and
Exactly.
whatnot.
And you know
Take the
what?
easy way out.
That's considered as getting away.
Yes.
That's getting away.
You kill a whole bunch
Because
of people
then
and then you
you
kill
don't
yourself.
have to pay for nothing that you did.
Yes.
Probably if somebody believes in hell or whatever, the afterlife, okay, you think that the person is suffering in hell. But they're not suffering on earth where I can see it. So what good is it?
Exactly.
How am I supposed to feel like when I wake up in the morning and I know that my son was killed for having done nothing but walk down the street and this guy offed himself afterwards? It's like, no, I'd actually like to be able to know that he's suffering in jail for the rest of his life, even though I know that that's not going to bring my son back.
Kimberly wants a CCTV to see the man inside a prison on 24/7 so she could just be like, yeah, you suffering, that's good.
But I don't want to know that his life is easy.
Understood.
Anyhow.
Another characters whose development that I quite enjoyed in this season
Who?
was Kimiko.
Yes.
I really
Kimiko.
liked how it kind of like brought up like her agency. She realizing that she's always been somebody's weapon, and then choosing that even if she's a weapon, she's going to fight for those who she considers her family and
Right.
her and Frenchie's relationship and stuff like that. That's great. I really
That musical
the
moment
musicals.
was so strange.
It was, but it was good. It was good. I really liked that the show chose the right characters to bump up a bit, and I'm glad that they did that for her this season.
The thing about it is, I think you could easily not feel anything in silent
But
moments.
she does an amazing
I
job.
know. You want to know why? She emotes well.
Yes, she is the she. You don't ever hear Kimiko speak, but the actress you can tell what the actress is saying.
Yeah, yeah, you can
You
feel it. You
understand
obviously you see
everything.
the sign language,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see the
yeah.
words, but they're stronger because of the way that her face
Is and how
is
she
bringing
is and
over.
how
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
That emotion, those feelings. It's yeah,
It's
I like
it's
those moments as
fantastic.
well.
I think
Yeah.
it's not people don't realize it, but it's an amazing job to act that way, you
Yeah.
know, and to get across all your emotions without having to say anything, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
It's
And there
wonderful.
was something that she told Frenchie that I think a lot of the other characters also were going through
Mm.
is that you are not your past.
Yes,
M thought that he should keep his past from
for
his
his
daughter,
daughter. Mm-hmm.
and Butcher, he thought that well, he
His
became
past
a
is
horrible
his past is his
and it was
present and
eating
future.
him up,
Yeah,
and but he doesn't have to be like that. I don't know if he's gonna go, actually I don't know what direction he's gonna go in.
because of what happens at the end, we find out that he's kind of dying
Dying.
because of the temp V, and he
Yeah.
has like maybe a year or a half, year and a half
That's
to
what I'm
live.
saying. If he takes the permanent thing,
Would he live?
would he?
I don't know. I probably might kill him though.
Oh,
Isn't permanent V like only supposed to be taken when you're like younger or something like that?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I never took it.
Because I mean, we saw Kimiko take it again since
But
she
that's only
lost her
because
powers.
her body already
Had it
had it.
inside of it exactly.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Hmm.
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
this was a good season.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. They from I've learned that there's been a ton of changes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they've changed characters completely to be completely different. And poor Blacknor. Wow, poor
Yeah, he
Blacknor.
kind of got the shaft.
He when you see what happened to him in the past, and then you see how he is now, and then you see how he got to his end. It's just like you might not have been a good guy, but you just had a rough existence overall. No,
Yeah.
like you went from being in a shitty team with freaking Soldier Boy to then being in this kind of weird team situation where you're like a friend of Homelander.
Yeah. It was, he deserves the most unfortunate character award.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, most unfortunate soup award goes to
Yeah.
Black Noir
Yeah.
from season 3 of The
The part
Boys.
where the little cartoon character tells
Yeah,
him that he'll be in the embrace of Christ.
Christ the Lord. Yeah, and he's
That
dying.
was so sad.
That's
It's
so sweet.
hilarious. Wow, that was. You shouldn't
Black
laugh.
Noir is dying and you're
I
laughing.
know,
A man
I
is dying and you're laughing. Wow.
know.
Look at you.
The little, I don't even know, was it a chipmunk or
Yeah.
something? It stuttered.
Yeah.
Listen, no. If it had stuttered something else, it may not have been funny, but it said the embrace of Christ.
It's the Lord. Yeah. That one killed me too. Look at you dying. Wow.
I'm crying. Oh my god. That was so hilarious. That's my favorite part.
Really? That was your favorite part?
Oh no.
Wow.
That's my favorite hilarious moment.
Top 10
It's-
funny moments
it's like
from Boys.
a sad moment. But
But
when
it's
he says
fucking
that,
funny.
it's hilarious. I'm like, I'm so sorry that you're crying. It's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh wow. That was great.
This is great.
It was. Oh, you know, the season started off. We didn't even talk about it, but this season was filled with penises.
Yes, it was. I
And
thought
it
there was a lot
started
of dick
off
in this
with
season.
an exploding penis.
I felt very uncomfortable when that scene happened. Because I felt to myself, I think I know where this is going. And I
Yeah.
don't like where it is going.
Yeah.
I especially don't like that
First of all,
superhero's
why
ability.
would you snort something up your nose, right? I don't care how y'all play as soups, y'all freaks. You understand?
Y'all.
Even people who are not soups got their own weird preferences and stuff. Okay, get on. However, you just snorted something up your
Uh
nose,
huh.
right? Obviously, your nose is in a state, sniffles and things can happen.
Yeah.
Why would you go up in somebody's whatever?
And then he was crawling through it, and apparently there was like, I don't know
He
if
sneezed.
he sneezed
He
and then he
said,
got
I
big.
sneezed.
Man, that's such a terrible superpower that you can't control.
Ay, ay,
Like a
ay.
simple sneeze is just, man, that's disgusting. That was just not necessary. And then he was trying to get up in Frenchie's butt so he could
I
expand.
know.
What the
It's
fuck,
like
dude?
why can't you just go up his nose or something? Why you need to get up on
Uh,
his nether
you
regions?
saw him again, and he was
He got crushed.
he got crushed. No, but he. You remember when Starlight and MM were going to Herogasm,
Hmm.
and he gets big and he like wipes himself his side
Oh,
on
on
MM's
MM.
jacket, and then oh
Oh my
god, that
gosh.
entire scene, and
That was,
MM
I was
is
so
looking.
sorry for him because then when he opened the
He gets
door,
like shot full of like cum all over
yeah,
him. It's just
wow.
like what
It
the
was
fuck.
extremely white. So
And then
it wasn't, how it's usually kind of clear, but it was white.
it was thick. And
Whoa.
did you hear the guy who was saying something? He's just like he said something along the lines of like "take it all in, chocolate beer" or some
Oh right,
shit like
there were
that.
the ones in the bathroom who did that. I was like, oh my god. Ugh. If that was me, I would start crying right away.
Like Jesse Ackles said, that was the most like devastating hour,
Traumatizing.
traumatizing episode that they had to do the crew.
Uh, that had the scene where they were fighting though,
Yeah, it was a pretty good
and
fight.
Butcher and Homelander had their like laser eyes at each
Battle
other.
thing going
That
on. A
was
Homelander ran
interesting.
away because he realized he might have died. I
Yeah,
think if they had gotten him there, they would have been. And they would have had to deal with none of the issues with Soldier Boy and all that shit at the end, but then Ryan showing up. Oh my god.
obviously, but Soldier Boy took too long to charge up.
He take and that's the honest truth. He takes
He
too
was
long
like
to
Super
charge up.
Saiyan.
And it's like Super Saiyan but slow. Well,
Yeah,
no, Super Saiyan sometimes used
Super
to take
Saiyan
time to
was
charge
slow,
up.
kind of though.
Yeah, but his was worse. You needed what they needed, right? Is that they needed to realize that the Russian music was his trigger. I Kim
Exactly,
said
trigger
Kim
on.
said trigger on, and that's a world trigger thing, and I like world trigger. I was just dead from just the thought process of like
I don't
somebody
know.
saying
Listen, in
trigger
the
on.
beginning, he says that he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember,
That he
but
just blacked, so which is unfortunate because if they were able to
to
make use of that,
control
I
it,
would just have some I
Russian
don't know music
music.
on, on my phone, just on my playlist, ready to go for him. Goodness. Anyhow, he got put back on ice
Yes,
at the
because he
end.
can't be killed.
Yeah, he
He
can't.
literally can't be killed. They need to do that for Homelander. They needed to find a way to knock Homelander the fuck out and just like put him on ice or something. So, but yeah,
We keep going over this. At the end of all of our boys' discussions, we
mm.
always like, so what's gonna kill Homelander?
What's going to kill Homelander? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I I think he's going to die. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a comic book reader,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I kind of don't. I kind of want to wait. I think I said this in season 2 that I will wait till season 3 and then read the comics. But a part of me kind of doesn't want to be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
I've already gotten a few things that people have like told me, like or in chats that I didn't like go into get. I didn't go in to get spoiled, but I got spoiled. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a few things have changed. I know a lot of stuff has changed from the comics. So like Invincible, I think I'm going to wait until maybe season 4, and then maybe I'll read the
Be
comics or whatnot.
quiet.
So
That's what you
yeah,
need to do. You keep saying I'll wait till this season to just be quiet.
just
Don't
because
do anything.
I'm not. I don't. I'm not. I'm gonna probably go and read other weird superhero stuff. Like I told you about Powers. I
Right.
liked Power. No, Powers, was it Powers or Power? I can't remember,
You
but
said it was power.
it was Power, but it's kind of another grimdark superhero type story, but it is a depowered superhero who is now a detective,
Mm-hmm.
and he's working with a normal human girl, and they solve like power crimes and superhero power crimes and stuff like that. And a power lady got murdered as the first
This
thing.
got Does this have
This has
a live
a
action?
live action, but it was part of the Sony PlayStation type thing. I still watched it, but it didn't get a lot of like reception or anything like that. I
Was
think it
it
on
good?
it as somebody who's read the comics, it did a okay job of like the first like a couple of I guess like chapters or like volumes of the actual comic and whatnot. But it didn't you could tell that they didn't have like the super like budget and they didn't want to put even more budget into
Mm-hmm,
it.
mm-hmm.
I guess whoever thought that who was ever running didn't think that it would have a pull, and the fact that at the time that it wasn't on any actual like show but like on stream on like PlayStation Sony owned service before anything like really any big streaming service or anything like that kind of like killed what audience would have seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, it had potential, but they completely fucked it with whoever was in control of it. I would like to see it actually get maybe Amazon, whoever does do something with that because it's perfect for this type of thing. It's a little bit
Mm.
more focused on like figuring out crime. It's more because it's more in the cops and stuff
Okay,
like
so
that.
it's more detective-y,
Yeah, more detective-y,
investigation-y.
investigation-y, but in a world with power. Like, in this world, there's even people who have powers who work in the police department. It is
Mm-hmm.
far more not all superheroes are like assholes type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still like that type of way, like how the boys is. Not as crazy, I would say, but very interesting, quite. I have to go back to read it, though. It's really good. But yeah, I enjoyed Boys Season 3, and I'm looking forward to Season 4.
What's the score?
I would give this a 9 out of 10.
Oh, me too.
A
Me
one,
too.
I take off one for all the penises. Too much penis stuff made me
Oh,
uncomfortable.
I never give anything a 10, so
I
9
never
is
give
actually
anything.
quite good.
Yeah, this was great. I really, really, really like this season.
Me
So
too.
if you guys haven't watched this, I think you guys should go and give it a watch. Like seriously, like Boys is great TV.
And predictions?
Predictions for what?
The next season.
What do you think is going to happen next season?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end, the new target is Victoria Newman because they know that she kind of like double, triple cross type of thing. But she's always been bad. But
Well, okay, so
she's trying to
she
be
has her own interests, obviously,
yes,
but um, she was never really on anyone's side.
no. She just like Edgar's playing everyone to a
Right,
certain point.
right. So she may even double cross.
Homelander,
Yeah,
I don't know about that. The issue, the thing that I think is the issue going forward is that Homelander is not afraid to kill people in public
yeah,
anymore, and he's the head of Vault now too. You know, so it's kind of the Pandora box has been open,
yeah.
right? The and he has this fucking kid, and that's the whole other thing there too. That's kind of, is Ryan going to become Homelander 2.1, or is he going to
But
not be
listen,
like his
listen.
dad?
He
He's
can like you said though. In this whole season, control was also a theme.
yes,
He can actually control his father. You said this earlier.
I hope so.
If he's able to do that really well, he's it.
Hmm. But I expect some shenanigans to happen. Do you expect a time skip? Because this
Why? For
takes place.
Ryan.
No, maybe. Well, I don't know how.
That kid, we saw him grow.
Yeah, we did. It's
His
actually
voice
good
is still whatever, but if they don't
because
film now,
earlier in
he's
the
gonna
season he
be,
was like a little bit
yeah,
short, and then like midway through we saw him he got gotten a little bit of height, and then but yeah he's getting bigger. So I think that if they do it right, they could make it seem like he's getting older as time goes by and whatnot. But who knows? I don't know when this was filmed, and it's been a while too as well. So
yeah.
depending on I don't know how far they go. Maybe like another year time skip because boys this takes place a year after season 2, so maybe they'll do the same thing.
They could do that, but he's going, I feel like he's gonna grow even taller by then.
Even in a year.
Boys, when they go through their growth spurts,
Yeah, I know it was a headache.
it's serious.
It is serious, but yeah, I think maybe they'll have it. Probably won't be as long as a time skip because in universe they're having an election, I think, in a few months to see who's going to be president or thing.
Oh.
So that is probably going to be a super important thing going forward. So it's probably going to be like a few months after what currently is right now
Mm.
in universe.
Or maybe when it happens, maybe they'll just show us after the election.
Or the election day on it happening, and then something happens because you know something's going to happen on when whoever becomes president and whatnot. I expect a lot of people are going to tragically die because of Homelander being a crazy psycho monster in the next season. So yeah, yeah. I think that's all we have to say for the boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. You loved it. You actually gave it a 9, which is rare. But yeah, guys, go and give it a watch. We'll see you guys in the next one.